we'll just cover at a high level. Ongoing, you want 24/7 system monitoring, you want dedicated coaching, you want assistance in match rates, we can help you. Okay. You can buy MapSag from us. It's our GIS data maintenance tool. Supports I2. It supports I3. Okay. It supports LE to GIS review. It's a really comprehensive tool. Okay. And we also have an eGDMS, our spatial interface. And that spatial interface will drive the LVF. It'll drive the ECRF. It has a ton of features and functionality. It's one of the most comprehensive spatial interfaces there are. And then I'm going to have some type of summary slide. What do you think?
Wow. This helps. I wish I'd started recording earlier.
Well, you got most of the words, okay?
I do,
you got some of the slides.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll send the slides out here as soon as I do. I'll do one or two more over the week, and I'll send it out Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
And ideally, we'll have a slide for everything. And so if we go down, we can PowerPoint it, okay?
Awesome. Well, and I wonder for the SCC part of it, maybe should we record that and have that, so it's not just PowerPoint, but, I've got Snagit. You can record a video and have those in case things go down.
We could. We could do that too. Okay. And so we could have that as a backup, and then, but ideally, I'd like to do this live and interactive.
Totally.
So take up questions. And I'm hoping that people get excited because for the first time they'll see I can do internal location services. I can do building floor unit room. I can do lot numbers. I can define landmarks as polygons. I can find things out of sequence. I mean, we could add more to it in terms of capabilities. And actually, that's when we go demo for them. In the back room, we're going to add about 15 more features, okay? And I don't know what yet, but we'll come up with some, okay? And the goal will be just to blow them away, okay? Yeah. For them to say, I want this, I don't want anything else. So, and for them to realize that their CAD system isn't going to do any of this. It's not going to find I3 location services, okay? In fact, we need to ask some questions about CAD all throughout here. Like, for example, how many people's CAD vendors support I3 location services today? See if anybody raises their hand. How many think they're going to? So how are you going to display all this stuff in CAD? Are you going to continue to use I2 data to find things? Okay. Are you going to continue and just make fun of it in a nice way? Okay. So that they begin to understand that the world's changing. I mean, if we're going to statewide display services for next gen, then why are we using the same thing for CAD? Okay. I want them to come out of the conversation asking that question. Okay. And then they're going to go over and ask the CAD vendors that question. The CAD vendors are going to look at them like they're stupid. Because they will have no idea what they're talking about. Okay. So what do you think? Go ahead.
That's actually a question that I had. Will the phrase I3 location services resonate with our audience?
It won't unless we show them what it is. And so here's some I3 location services, okay? The ability to find building floor unit room, the ability to have a primary, secondary, and find 23790 River Road, my secondary area, so I know this call isn't for me, okay? The ability to find, lot number, the ability to auto hover over an address before I choose it to see what's across from it, so that maybe I can talk to if the call taker isn't sure where they are, maybe I can look what's around them and ask them what's across the street, right? So you try to give them those real world scenarios, and most of them still won't get what an I3, that these are web services that anybody can use. I don't know how to explain that easier, okay? The smart ones will. Probably the 10% we're selling to
right.
will get it, okay? The call takers and dispatchers aren't going to get it. What they'll get is I can look at things in 3D now. I can find building floor unit room. I can now have I can now have incidents from other CAD systems on my screen if I wanted to. Okay. Actually, fire people will be jazzed about that. No one else will care. okay? And so, I didn't even cover things like unit status monitors and all that other stuff it does, okay? Right. We can cover, that's probably fluff in terms of this is core, okay? Because most people don't really have a good roles-based system. You go in and you log in as a dispatcher, you get the same screen every other dispatcher gets, okay? It doesn't come up for fire dispatchers different than police dispatchers. So why can't we have a role for everybody? And why can't we give people what they need? Because it's all about them, okay? Oh, that's what I missed. Number 8 was going to be, I was going to talk about, before going to addresses, I was going to talk about the ability to modify each and every screen, okay, and customize each and every screen, okay, because that's cool. And so I can go in and I can change, for example, maybe you just bring up system admin. You don't even have to change anything, Charles, but you bring up system admin and calls and you show changing one field, okay? You didn't like it, okay? So we can even plant the question in the audience where they say, I don't like how you labeled your call taking. Can you change it? And you say, absolutely. Don't the other systems support that? No. So we can get questions like that planted, okay, and have some fun with the audience. They'll laugh about stuff like that, okay? So in order to do, so you can see what we want to demo now, okay? Now we need to come up with the data to demo it. And actually, and when I come up with 5 or 6 more things like for demonstrating CAD, like later in the room, unit recommendations based upon ETA, that kind of stuff, okay, you'll see that we'll have to do more on the demo. Do I have a meeting now? 1 minute. Inbox. Calendar. Okay. And no, I still have some time. Okay. So that's kind of the piece. Now, the good news is you saw what Zemo sent back, right? So he said he'll give us some documentation. When Zemo says he'll give us some documentation, he will. Okay. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to learn how to use the editing, the scripting tool, okay, for calls, incidents, and units, so that we can create exactly what we want, exactly how we want to show it, and we can create the exact order and the exact sequence, okay? So we can have it all ready to go. We'll practice it up some, and then all this should click, okay? So we can have someone can be demoing it, somebody can be talking, and somebody can be sending like calls, incidents, and units from another machine to this machine, okay? And so it'll probably be a 3-person demo, okay? But it'll be cool as all get out, okay? And if we could find a way to also demonstrate the mobile piece, even if it's just on camera, right? That would be cool. They would get it. So what do y'all think?
So, yeah, I kind of want to get your thoughts, Todd, just about the organization for our content and who will be presenting what at NINA, and are we going to be in that like theater apparatus, or are we going to be?
I am going to try to get us in the theater. Now, they've already had a heart attack because they being the powers that be, because we haven't got our presentation finished yet. And I haven't even the heart to tell them the reason why we haven't finished is because we haven't had access to the software, okay? Because if you thought they were upset before, if I told them that, they'd go crazy. No.
But they don't know.
So here's the deal. If they give us presentation theater, we need to show them we're ready next week, okay? And then we can, so if I look at next week, I'm looking at the calendar right now. Come on. Oh, it's open. I'm doing good. So if we could get our presentation done next week and fine-tuned, okay, and share it with them, and they say, okay, you're ready to go, then we could do that. Here's the I don't know who should do the presentation. Okay, if Sarah feels comfortable talking, we can let her do it. Nicole might want to do it, but she may not feel comfortable with it. Okay. I talk too fast. I know I do, but maybe I could talk slow, man. Maybe I could just stay awake all night or something. So we'll see. Okay. And we can go from there. If we can get that done.
I'm totally comfortable talking as long as I have time to learn my script.
Once again, it all needs to be scripted really cleanly and quickly, and then and that's fine. If you feel comfortable, that's fine. I can take questions. Okay. And I can send calls and incidents across, man. Or we can get someone else to do that. We'll figure that one out. Maybe we'll put but that's what I think we need to say. So what we kind of covered is it's a new product. It's groundbreaking. It supports internal location services, 3D location services, display services for CAD, display services for AVL, display services for everything. And it does it it can do it on a local level, or it can do it on a regional level, or it can do it on a state level. Okay? It's all open for the first time. So you don't buy a closed system. And it's automatically updated as part of the state Next Gen 911 process, or you could just run it in your own PSAP and update it yourself. Okay? So probably on the last slide, we need to talk about things like that. Here's all the things that it will do that will just freak them out. Okay? We'll see. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So right now, I'm hoping that y'all will have some time to play it on the admin piece, and you're starting to understand the admin piece. Okay. And on Monday, we hopefully will get everything we need. We might even get it Sunday to start creating incidents and calls. Okay. And we really need to create incident and calls strategically on the map. So what happens is you look for a really good place to demo, okay, and a demo that just will show a lot of things going on at once, so that they're almost overwhelmed. All the things going on at once. It's so cool, and that they get it. Okay. I have a lot of good data that I demo with, but it's almost all in Pennsylvania. I would really like, if possible, to have a map for, once again, have the Orange County map. I know I still don't have one, but or another map around it where we have streets and address points, so that I can show an area, right, that's primary and secondary, and it's a real-world primary and secondary area, not not Pennsylvania and California, okay? But we can go from there. So, all right. What other questions y'all have?
I don't have a question on this right now, but I did put something together from what we talked about yesterday in comparison to what I saw on site. And I'm curious if you can explain it to me. So you know how I was talking about when they start typing in the location of what the caller is telling them, and maybe it would be, Miller Park or, intersection of Harrison and Smith, whatever. They start typing it in, and the little CAD window opens up to give them all of the options that match up. I think it was at AdCom, it did show that, it would give the list, the street ranges for the street segments or whatever it was, the park, and it had next to it what agency covered that particular location. So